I became a pen pal with Lawrence Lindsay, the economic advisor to Bush. And I sent him a number of my books and writings, and he even went to the point of giving me his personal facts. And he and I wrote back and forth about saving the United States and abolishing the trade deficit. And my proposition to him, which he thought was, quite frankly, a miracle, was this. Establish a special credit card that would be used to only purchase made in the USA, high-quality, repairable merchandise. That would include shoes, boots, clothing, washers, dryers, televisions, computers, etc. Then allow the American family to deduct any interest on that credit card, and also to depreciate the American-made goods on a one-year basis for children under 18, because of the fact that kids under 18 need new shoes and clothes every year because they're growing. After 18, shoes and clothes would be depreciated under 3 years. White goods, washers, dryers, refrigerators, etc., 5 years. Cars, 5 years. And for computers and such as that, 3 years. And this would all have to be repairable stuff, so it would launch a repair industry like we used to have in the 50s and 60s. And he thought it was absolutely genius. And he took it to Bush, and shortly thereafter he vanished from the White House.
Is that right?
True story.
Oh, yeah. Well, that system would work. It sounds very, very good, and it probably would work then. But now it wouldn't work because there's very little that we can make. We become so dependent on foreigners for everything, for consumer goods, for military goods, for industrial goods.
Right.
I mean, there's so many industrial goods that we need. For example, Ford wants to make more hybrid cars. Well, they can't make them unless they get the components from from Toyota.
Right.
So we've become extremely vulnerable. We are outsourcing all our manufacturing, not all of it, but a huge percentage of it. That means we are resigning ourselves to the fact that we are no longer a manufacturing country. And worse than that is we are subsidizing insourcing. Insourcing means, bringing in companies like Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Kia, giving them all kind of benefits to produce here, where there's very, very few jobs in relation to output because they don't make anything in these factories. They assemble imported components.
We call them screwdriver and robot factories.
Right. You're exactly right.
Right.
And there's very, very little tax benefit because they're able to charge themselves so much money for the components, charge administrative and licensing fees, so that there's very few jobs, there's very little tax benefit, and we subsidize them to destroy General Motors and Ford. Right now, General Motors has a cap value of around $13 billion. Japan has a current account, they have $1 trillion of accumulated surpluses. They could buy General Motors for about 1.5% of their American money and use General Motors as spare parts. I mean,
what's even worse is that I believe that GM and Ford will soon take Chapter 11, and they will dump their pensions on the American taxpayer, and they will dump everything else, all of the unsecured debt. They will try to emerge after bankruptcy, but after bankruptcy, there won't be much left.
I hope not. I think you're right, but I hope you're wrong. But anyway, one of the other things that is really causing us to sell all our wealth-producing companies is the capital gains tax. See, the capital gains tax has been reduced to 15%. So if a guy's got a company and he works his derriere off for many, many years to build it up, and he pays, in short-term income and high taxes, if he doesn't sell his company, he'd be crazy to do anything less than that, because he couldn't make as much money if he worked 100 years as he can if he sells his company to a foreigner who has all the money now, and he can live in Sarasota or Longboat Key. If you go there, you'll see $5, $10, $20 million homes, banks of them, for people who only live there 3 or 4 weeks out of the year.
I know.
I mean, it's outrageous what's happening to our country and how many people are getting rich and how many people are living below the poverty line. And nobody is addressing those issues.
Well, today on Newswires, there is 5 states. Florida is one of them, Maine is the other, where the difference between the working poor and the rich is getting wider and wider. The gaps are getting wider. So those stories are getting some coverage. But the bottom line is, my ex-brother-in-law, who recently died, told me confidentially, he was the chief purchasing agent for an electronics company that made guidance systems for cruise missiles and ICBMs. And he said, Chuck, I can't buy parts, capacitors, resistors, or chips in America anymore to make the stuff we need to make American missiles and American ICBMs and cruise missiles or tank guidance systems. And he said, I can't buy LCDs. He said, it's a shame. We'll be right back, sir. Hang on.
Keith Allen and For the People, that was Chuck from 11 years ago. And the message more relevant than ever. Doesn't it sound like today? But the good news is that we have a job creator in the White House that believes in bringing back manufacturing, bringing back made in the USA, and this is what we've needed. But we've been sold out. And he names the names, and with ex-presidents that have been in there, thanks to Barack Hussein Obama, but George W., H, and W., and Bill Clinton. Between those 3 administrations, folks, that's why we're here. And it's damaged. There's so many places in America that you can still drive through. You might be part of that town that just literally dried up and has never been the same since. You look at Puerto Rico and the devastation there. They said it could take decades to rebuild. Some towns will never be rebuilt in America unless we have a president in the White House or remaining in the White House that's going to push for these job creations to take place and stop relying on other countries to build this stuff for us. And I can't think of one more thing that would be less patriotic than doing that. It actually helps and benefits the American people. The problem is, it's benefited Washington and the lobbyists and the senators that have went ahead and just kowtowed to it all, and it felt good to them. They got paid, but everybody else got the shaft. Folks, this is why For the People has been so important through the years and why I decided to take over the broadcast. Chuck in a nursing home in Gainesville, Florida. It's nice to hear from Chuck from time to time, but the relevancy continues on For the People today. Our website's forthepeopleshow.com if you would like to look us up online and join us. We'll be back right after this, after the commercial break.
Survive this thing called life. We're for the people, for the people, for the people is there.
It's unlike anything you've ever been through in your life, man. I was driving. This kid threw a grenade at us and went right over our vehicle. It was 12 years old.
The shockwave went through my head, rattled up my brain, and left.
Danger is around you 360 degrees at all times, and you can't unlearn that.
It's impossible to describe the sacrifices these men and women have made to protect our freedoms. And the job of rebuilding their lives is massive and growing every day. Many will need the programs offered by the Wounded Warrior Project for years to come.
I didn't know what PTSD was. All I knew is I was having nightmares. And when I got released, my reintegration was go check in at the VA, man.
My first coping mechanism was use drugs. Just numb it. Don't feel anything.
I was angry. I'm trying to pull myself out of that right now.
Your gift today of $19 per month will honor and empower these veterans so they can aid and assist each other.
The Wounded Warrior Project is a life raft.
I can say this without question that I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for it.
Wounded Warrior Project is the first step, getting back out into the world and reforming yourself outside of the service.
Call or go online with a pledge of $19 a month. You'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket, and your gift will provide critically needed programs that rebuild lives.
That was my first feeling of actually being a part of something bigger than myself again.
Well, I lost a few really close friends overseas, and if I quit, I'm going to let them down, and I'm not about to do that.
I'm learning to face my fears head on.
To trust and see what happens at the end.
It's a long process, but I had the drive and desire.
Please, call or go online with your gift right now.
For the people is there.
Get ready, get set for 123 Ready TV, the brand new app that everyone's talking about for your PC or Android device that allows you access to most every movie or TV show ever made. Sound incredible? Well, it is, because once you pay $19.99, that's all you pay. Just the movies and TV shows you like without the hassle. The internet streams everything already. What 123 Ready does is it finds them, then delivers them directly to you, commercial-free. There's nothing quite like it, and it's available now at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. And before you buy 123 Ready TV, watch the video and see how simple it is to start watching all those movies and TV shows. If you like movies and TV shows, but don't enjoy paying for all of them, no problem. Just pay $19.99 and start enjoying countless titles and entertaining TV better than anyone. Get your 123 Ready TV for $19.99 at forthepeopleshow.com. Just click on the store page. Some things in life need a little attention. Like a plant. If not watered, it begins to turn brown. But if watered properly, its leaves turn green again. Like a plant, For the People needs watering too. Your thoughtfulness provides sustainability for us to grow and reach our full potential. You see, For the People depends on you to broadcast this program to help inform and educate folks so you can make a difference right where you are. Grab your watering can and join us as we endeavor to make a difference in people's lives each and every day. To donate, go to forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Just look for the watering can and water as much as you can. At For the People, our garden is full of opportunities, and planting something allows others to enjoy the benefits. At For the People, our mission is simple. Give you the news that matters with good old-fashioned common sense, mixed with a conservative point of view. Simply log on to our website at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Thanks for your support.
Thomas Hefner is with me. Economyincrisis.org. Economyincrisis.org. Tom, if you get a chance and you go to chuckharder.com, CHUCKHARDER.com, go to articles and links, read the story, Why America is Dying, which I spent a lot of money to research. The bottom line is that that story will tell you how NAFTA got started. But the point is, the people who run this country are all members of the I've Got Mine Club. They've got pension benefits, welfare benefits, they've got health care benefits that you and I would kill for. The average government retiree, we're talking about, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, we're talking about senior government officials in Washington, or there are what we call the Hill Rats, their administrative assistants. They will all take $2 million from the federal treasury between the time they retire and the time they die.
You know, we got to be thankful for people like you, Chuck, to make people aware of what's truly happening to the country. Not many people realize, such a small percentage of the people realize what you're talking about. It would be nice if you could get on more stations or to get on more talk shows.
Well, we're working on that, but just remember, please, that if you know what Google is, right?
Right.
Okay, if you put in your search bar Clinton enemies list, Clinton space enemies space list, which the Landmark Legal Foundation got from the federal court through a lawsuit, you'll find that the Clinton administration